Hey guys, we're back with Green, uh, Symphogear GX, etc. So
Stroganov
I still
was
can't
had.
figure out who is Shirabe and who is Kirika because I didn't actually watch the show, but this is apparently Shirabe. The conclusion was reached. 3225, so something's up. It's a level 3 support. If you have Kirika, the conclusion reached, which is another level 3, which you can summon at level 2, we'll get to it soon, this gets -1 level. So if you have that Kirika, then you can play the Shirabe at level 2. It has assist. All music characters in front of this gain 2k, and the ability, when the battle opponent of this reversed, you may kick it to memory, which is not really a good thing, but I guess it's alright against some of the current sets.
We're
And the
gonna
last ability.
reserve the rating for the seeing both cards next. Oh wow, look at all these awful fonts. Um, we're gonna reserve the rating while we talk about the second card too, because
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
they're gonna be played together if you're
I,
playing
f
this at all.
I forgot to mention that Shirabe heals, so that's good.
Yes.
Yes.
Kirika, the conclusion reached, 329k. If you have 6 or more climax cards, it gains -1 level in hand. 6 or more climax cards in the waiting room, sorry. For each of your other Shirabe's support that we just talked about, it gains 1k power. When this is placed from hand to stage, draw 2, ditch 1, and when the battle opponent of this is reversed, if unison of 2, which I believe is the 2k1 soul,
Yes, it
Yep,
is a
it is.
2K1 soul.
yeah, if that's in the climax zone, then you get to clock kick your opponent.
Alrighty, where to begin? Um,
I'll
So
begin by
firstly,
allowing you
yeah,
to be able to tell them apart. Everyone who I talk to who's not watched Symphogear always calls Kirika Dark Magician Girl, so that might be able to help you
so that
out.
makes her the blonde one, yeah?
yes,
Yeah.
Neat.
wonderful.
She's also got that pointy hat thing. Yeah, that's fair enough. So Kiriko is Dark Magician Girl. Yeah, that'll help. So this combo is obviously meant to be played with each other in its own deck. The major issue I have with this is we already had 2 level 3s that came down at level 2 and play with each other.
It's they just decided to just like as many of the other level threes, it's just like an updated, just straight like updated version, just like the level three Hibiki from GX is to say,
It's
kind
a
of
better
up.
version of the set 1.
Yeah, so this is just their idea of a better version of the other early play level threes from set G.
I don't know what to think of this card. On one hand, it's gonna be big, if you have a full field of everything. On the other hand, you spent 10 stock to do everything. Um, I don't know.
I Ideally you somehow built on stock. Yeah,
Ideally, you got to 10 stock and magically dropped this at level 2, I guess. That's the dream,
this is
I'd
the one
imagine.
deck that could actually probably hit 10 stock in Symphogear, but even then it's still going to be very dodgy.
Like, I don't think living the dream is worth this.
I think this is better than the original in every single way except for the advanced summon condition, which is awful.
Yes. I
That is,
hate
yeah,
the
I
6
hate it as
comics
well.
as a Widigram is the worst form of early play.
Alrighty.
That is literally the only reason I haven't completely discounted the old ones, because this one is this combination is better in every way, other than the advanced summon condition, which I think is a very important part of a card series you want to play at level 2.
I strongly wish this card was combos with a gold bar, but that's just me.
Yeah,
Everyone wishes their clock kicker combos with a gold bar.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wish Komachi clock kicked on gold bar instead of having to ditch a card. But we can't get everything we want. Instead, I get stock charge and power.
Do you really wish that?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
like
think so.
I would prefer my clock characters to never require any form of climax.
No, actually,
But
Yeah,
it's
I
a
would
straight
also
up
like
play.
it to just ditch my climaxes,
It's
ditch
straight
my
up
bars.
a 14k clock kicker when you play the climax that pays for itself that turn. It's pretty great actually.
Yeah, more or less.
Anyways, I really wish it was on any global soul combo. Gold bar would probably have been ideal. I think gold bag would have been way more fun.
I have
oh
to
sure.
disagree, actually. I like 2k1 soul on my clock kicks because it means I'm not hitting every single row for more than I want to hit.
Sure.
I do
I
agree
don't
that
like the
two
fact,
K
yeah,
ones are fine,
I don't
but
like the fact that I can't trigger it and add it to my hand. But
I mean, at least this draws 2, ditches 1, so like it does dig for it on its own.
yeah, plus you can play that 1-0 Hibiki and Miku that we talked about earlier.
I'm just like not sure if if you would even like want to early play this. Because like if you can't drop the Shirabes with the Kirikas at level 2, it's 9k and that's it.
Mm.
I'm assuming
Well,
you would
no.
never early play this unless you had the Kirika.
Unless you had everything,
Shirabe
right?
to go with it anyways, but yeah.
With
More or
1 you get to
less.
12k, and that's like okay. 12k is a pretty solid
Worst
number.
part about this versus other cards that require 6 more climaxes waiting room is that this also requires a climax to be played with it. So this basically means you have to be out 7 climaxes to have this even be able
To be relevant at level
play.
2,
Yeah.
well, besides like getting a 2-soul beater, I guess.
I still
So-
think that I don't actually know if I want to flush out all my stock by playing a bunch of 2 costs, unless I've been like brainstorming every turn or this set had Mikatsuki. So
God.
perhaps the advanced summon condition isn't so big a deal because I'm happy playing these at level 3 and just having them at level 3 as well.
I would rather just dump them at level 3. I don't think this is necessarily something you need to be getting done at level 2.
Yeah, it's not really an advantageous card to be playing early. I still think it's a solid combo. Like, it's a great finisher, but just its advanced summon might as well just not even be there.
Yeah, there are a lot of cards with that.
I think these cards are good in their respective deck. I don't know if they're good enough to be meta anymore. I mean, I don't know if they're good enough to be the competitive deck anymore.
I don't think this goes into the competitive deck by virtue of Gungnir wanting you to play a lot of Hibikis, the new Chris being, I think, individually a more effective card than this. I gotta
Combination, though.
say it's a playable combo, but it's for a different deck. And that's going
Yeah.
to be a lot of what I'm going to be saying for the rest of Green, so I might just leave that up.
I think I have to call it a niche card, even though it's better than niche suggests. Like, this is a very high ceiling combination, but it doesn't go into every deck. It's more like green is just not good enough to go into the meta deck right now.
Yeah.
I'm still on the fence because I just happen to really like Clockmakers in general, like as my go-to finisher option. So I still want to call this a good card because it's fine to be played at 3. You can still splash just enough of the green. You can basically just run the level 3s and level 1 of them to make the requirement for your color for this card. It doesn't really require.
Yes, but you need a 2k1 soul.
So it's one of your climax options as your end game. I mean, this is, of course, we're assuming that you can't run Chris with this card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So you're picking one or the other.
Chris, also to an extent, the current Hibiki is almost mutually exclusive with the other 2 as well. Unless you're just playing it as an 11k healer,
Which is
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
which is fine. Like, it's still a
This card
respectable
is
11k
fine.
healer.
It's just that I don't think if I'm playing Symphogear, or rather, if I'm looking for a deck to play, I don't really think, oh, Symphogear has a 2k1 soul clock kick. Maybe I should play that. That's my real issue with this card. Like, it's good, but only if you've decided to play the Kirika Shirabe deck already.
I agree. I don't think I'd be tempted to splash green into that deck.
It depends on really what your local meta is comprised of, because I feel that this card very easily reverses a lot of things out there. With Duke 1, it helps you even get over those problematic decks.
No, I don't think that it's going to have an issue reversing anything. 2k1 soul on a fairly... Like, 11k clock kicks are already serviceable. I
12.
just don't know if... 12?
Well, depends. I mean, or 11k with the 2k one.
I'm counting
Just the
2k1
2k1.
soul without the support. And
Sure,
so this
sure.
card is fine in that situation. But it's not really drawing me to the deck, you know?
Well, I guess it depends on like what your choice finisher is. I think it's a respectable finisher. It's just, if you happen to prefer burners, that's also fine, I guess. It comes down to your personal choice.
Yeah,
think
no,
so.
that's fair.
I
That's-
personally lean towards on attack burn as my go-to finisher effect.
Oh, but then you get wrecked by Charlotte, and Uh, uh,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay, moving on from irrelevant points. Let's
So
go.
this card is the Courage to Confront Shirabe. It's a 00500.
Oh, whoops. I closed
It
it.
is a uh oh no, I thought it had Encore. No, no.
No, no,
It gives
it gives
the
encore.
Kirika that it clock bonds character Encore and 500 power. And like I said, it's a clock bond. Mm,
Where's the other card?
right next to this one.
Cool, we're just gonna move on because bond combos deserve to be treated in conjunction with its pair.
I don't think this is a good bond combo.
Let's see. The other one is gains 1500 power if you have the other
With
card.
if you have any character with
Oh,
Shirabe.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you're up to vanilla status, and then you can tap
Well,
to pump.
that opens up the option of having like assists and whatever
Sure.
from the old set. My issue with this is that it's freaking small, and character encore on a bondable card seems really dumb.
It reminds me of the cheese combo from Madoka.
Cheese combo is okay, but cheese combo was bigger than this on defense.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the cheese combo. I like
Wait,
this one
was
less.
it bigger than this on defense? I don't think it is. 6.5?
Um,
No, that one was 7k.
It was
right?
No, it wasn't 7K. It was 6.5 because it got 500 per, but you got 1,000 per card per
Okay,
that
so-
Nagisa on the field.
Well, that's fine because I didn't really like the cheese combo that much anyway.
So
The main issue I have with this card is you already have the 1-0 Kirika from G that's a 106k as long as it sees any Shirabe, so this
Yeah,
is
that's just a better.
just straight weaker. It just can gain Encore, which is you don't really care really.
I mean, you can also pump it, I guess, but like,
Yeah. I think the other sets Shirabe. The other sets Shirabe is a better option, even if you're not running the old advanced summon condition, simply because I don't know, it just seems better.
I'm gonna give this bond combo.
It's niche.
It's
Right.
niche. It's definitely niche. I don't think it's playable, really. But if you
It's
really
a-
wanted to, it's still like passable, I guess.
It's a really garbage condition to pump itself.
Yeah.
It's basically I think just niche because it's
Is it even the go-to in the Kirika Shirabe?
I
don't
can't see
think
it being a
is.
go-to.
the go-to Kirika Shirabe level 1 I feel at this point in time would be a combination of the 1-0 Kirika from from G that's going to be a 106k as long as it sees any Shirabe at all in the field, comboed with the 1-0 Shirabe CD PR that will be I think a 1055 as long as it sees any Kirika. I have to double check this again.
Sure, I'll trust you on that, but I haven't really looked into the Kirika Shirabe deck.
It'll be the Shirabe would be like a 1055 with Encore, as long as it sees any Kirika. So I believe that's what your front row is going to kind of look like, which is kind of depressing. But I think there's a couple other options for this set.
I think the fact that we're trying to justify its place at all shows that we should probably move on to alchemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So this is End of the World Carol 00500. Gives 1k to the other character in the center slot front row. And it's a 1-cost tap 2 brainstorm. For each climax card revealed, you get an alchemy character from your deck.
Ew, it's PR index.
This card is great
It's a great card. Index loves it.
for the alchemy deck.
Yep. Great card that only goes in one deck.
It's a
like how
tragedy.
it's like how the Index PR Brainstorm is great unless you try to put it in a railgun deck.
Yes.
No, this is a niche card. No matter how good it is, it's only for one deck. Really.
Yep. And that's all there is to say about alchemy.
Mm.
You're gonna run it if you're playing alchemy.
Yep.
You're gonna run a bunch if you're playing alchemy.
You're gonna Maybe
Yeah.
even run all 4. I don't know.
Yeah, you
At
might.
least
Who
3.
knows?
At least
At
3.
least
3 is
three.
a good number.
There aren't. Well, you probably want the 1-0 Subasa support from set 2 simply because level plus. But anyway, next card is Kurika,
Holy
Marvelous
bongs,
Combination.
they're everywhere.
Yeah, there are two bonds to level ones for this duo.
What's the other number?
Something about
Oh, it's 43. Holy Jesus.
but
Yeah.
the fun part about this bond is it's also a brainstorm.
Wait. Well, okay, so I almost run this just because it's a brainstorm, but let's go to 43.
I can just tell you what that
Oh,
card
it's a
does.
1/1 counter.
It's a
Yeah,
1/1
it's a 1/1
counter, and you get to give it's a 2/5 counter for a green character.
Cool.
Only green.
I would not run the counter, but I would run the brainstorm unless you. Isn't there another search brainstormer already?
Yeah, there's a hit.
Yes, the Hibiki that gets 500 to center.
Cool.
yeah.
That one's better just because it does something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So I
you're
think
correct.
You basically wouldn't run this card. I think even if you were playing the Kirika Shrabe deck.
Yeah, I feel like I would
It's-
run them. Like I'd run the Miku brainstorm over this, which is saying something, to be honest.
I think I'm gonna give it the bad just because it actually is outclassed by other brainstormers. I don't think you should choose this over the other options.
It's not because the bond is actually to a decent card.
The bonus is a very decent card. It's a decent card that only works again in one deck. So like, I guess you can say it's niche in the green deck.
It's niche in the green deck where if you absolutely want that bond
you-
to that counter, you
Yeah.
Well, the only green cards you're ever going to counter are Kirikas and Shirabes because there are no good alchemy level green cards that you can play at level 1 as opposed to just playing a vanilla level 2 counter for.
Yeah. Sure. Moving on.
It's niche because it is a solid card that you cannot give a bad rating to because it is a good card.
It gets things done, but there's
It's
another
also pretty.
brainstormer.
Yeah. So next card, Carol
Hey,
Malice
it's the alchemy
Einheit.
payoff.
3/3 10k with 2 soul. No, I didn't read that wrong. It's an alchemy trait.
So,
Recollection. If Autoscorer Leia, Autoscorer Farah, Autoscorer Misha, and Autoscorer Galei are all in your memory, this gains -1 level and -2 cost in your hand. So if you have all 4 autoscorers in your memory, if you assembled the rainbow, so to speak, it becomes a 2/1 with the abilities. When this plays from hand to stage, you may heal, and 1 cost, put an alchemy character from your memory into the waiting room. This gains 1/5 and hexproof until the end of your opponent's next turn.
Yeah. That last effect is pretty bad, honestly. Unless you're swinging for game, and the only way you don't swing for game is because they have money, you're probably not going to use that. And if they anti-change your Carol that you paid 1 stock for, I'm going to just say that was a win.
This is just a really solid card. 1 cost heals are always, always, always good.
1 cost heal.
And
You pay
This
at
is one-
least at minimum 3 stock to turn this thing on.
yeah, okay, but a lot of those costs were abilities you want to do anyway. Like the Ricky was something you want to do anyway. At least one of those is a free go to memory.
Yeah,
Actually, you know what? The other 2 do cost something. So yeah, never mind. This is not a 1 cost. This is not a 1 cost heal, but it is a 2 cost at the very least. But you did get compression from doing that. So while I don't value compressing 1 card as worth 1 stock because you are trading 1 compressed stock for 1 compressed card, it's fine.
the heal is also more so like a rollback from the caulking you did earlier to do the 0/0 yellow searcher.
Well, if you want to think of it like that, then sure, this isn't actually payoff. But I think that once you play once you play a second one of these,
Yeah, so the first one basically catches you up, and the second, third, and fourth that you would want to play afterwards definitely get you advantage.
This is your payoff for playing alchemy.
And the first one I feel doesn't actually get you anything. I feel it just kind of evens you out for all the early work you're doing.
It's a solid card. I don't know if the payoff is incredible.
It's
Well,
the
the
most
idea is to play
solid
more
enemy
than one.
card in Symphogear.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
if you just drop 3 in a turn, you just pay 3 to heal 3. That's really good.
Yeah.
yeah, no, the idea is to play more than one, because if you've only played one, then you are correct in saying you didn't actually get a payoff. You've paid so much stuff.
To set this up.
Yeah.
Ideally,
And
you want to play as many of these as possible, have your opponent kill them, and try to loop them as fast as humanly possible.
correct, and you want to avoid decompressing yourself with that ability as much as possible, because otherwise you lose that effect, and it goes back to being a 3/3.
Yes.
Which is actually unplayable with the rest of the effects.
It's
Yes.
pretty garbage, yes. Um, so I have to give this a niche rating. It does seem to be the payoff. Like, multiples of this is the payoff for the alchemy deck. Certainly, but yeah, that's all I really have to say about that.
She looks very different in this shot.
Next one, Carol, power filling.
Yeah.
Doesn't she like go from kid mode to adult mode or something?
She is a homunculus, so she can do what she wants.
Neat. 104k. If you have 2 or more cards in memory, this gains 2k power and Clock Encore.
Cool.
This is your staple level 1 green card for the alchemy deck. I don't know if it's better than blue, but you'll be playing both anyway, so whatever.
Yep.
This card is niche, but it's a good niche card, like a really good niche card.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
Alchemy.
Yeah, so this is another 1/0 green alchemy card.
It's
when
mandatory
it's
for the
placed-
3.
So maybe you
Yes.
can explain it to me. What does this auto scorer even mean?
Okay, the 4 auto scorers are basically just like these dolls that the main villain Carol has, and their main purpose was to. I could spoil the entire series because like their whole reasoning doesn't basically become like obvious until like the second to last episode.
Okay.
Well, we'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I get people who want this set probably have watched it, but you never know.
What you basically just need to know is that they're the 4 main minions to Carol,
Mm.
and they all
Please,
fulfill
please
different
tell me they
purposes.
have elemental focuses, so we can just pretend like they're the 4 crystal guardians from like
Basically
Final
do.
Fantasy.
One is
They are the
one is
Planeteers.
fire, one is wind, one is water.
Where's Heart?
Planeteers. Carol's heart, right?
Carol's Heart.
Right.
Oh
So,
man. Is Carol
young
also
Carol
Captain
is heart,
Planet?
and adult Carol is Captain Planet.
Adult Carol's Captain Planet. Well, she does have the 4 colors on her head.
Oh no. Anyways, this card just gets big, and then you can pay 1 to send it to memory. You're running 4 of it, maybe less, but you need like at least 2 or 3 to make sure you can get it into memory.
You get the memory. It's the worst of the 4 cards.
But again, it's in the alchemy deck because you're playing alchemy, and
Yeah, it's mandatory because you need it to be in memory.
if you're not running it, you've already built alchemy wrong. There are very few decks
Yeah.
that you can like outright build wrong.
Have we talked about what this card does?
Yeah, it just gets big and then dies, and then you pay 1 to send it to memory. That's all you need to know what it does.
It seems fine. It gets up to 7k, I believe.
Yeah, not counting any back row crap or shenanigans.
'Cause
I
you
mean,
need-
9k in the
it's,
center.
It gains X power for the turn, where X is 500 times the number of alchemy characters you play at last. It's a 7k beater.
Wow, the numbers. The numbers.
Unreversed 1 cost go to memory. Yeah, that seems fine.
Yep.
It is important that it does include itself.
You have to run a bunch.
Is it other? Is it really other?
No, it's
No,
yours.
it includes itself.
Alright, cool.
So-
I would been like really confused because this effect usually counts itself.
Mhm.
Already.
There are some that don't, but it's nice that it
They're
does.
old. They're very old.
Moving
Yeah.
on.
Kirika, new power. So this is another card for the Kirika Shrubbery deck, obviously. 2/1 assist. All your level 3 or higher characters in front gain 2k power. This is an alternate assist for your Kirika that you advance summoned. And 2 cost. When this plays from hand to stage, you may pay cost. If you do, search your library for a music character added to hand.
One sec. I gotta look at. Okay. Sure. I don't.
I really don't like these sort of assists that are just like, hey, you need to actually have a character that's higher level than the level you'd be playing this card at.
I found exactly one purpose for this sort of assist, and that is in a mono character deck.
You can sort of abuse it if you run other level 2s, but then I'm already like, I'm running other level 2s and I don't want to play this anymore.
This is okay in Nisekoi because the salvage level assist is good, but not necessarily the card you need to play. And it's okay in like, I can't believe I'm saying this, a mono Umi deck because the advanced summon for that card, for that deck is so hilariously easy. So the trend is if you have a hilariously easy advanced summon and you have this support, then go for it. But you don't really in this set.
Yeah, this theme is kind of from the old 1-1 TD exclusive from the Symphogear Set 1. Whereas a Hibiki that's 1-1 gives characters in front of this game that are level 2 or higher gain plus 1000. And it can tap itself in something else to give a character plus 1 level for the turn, plus 1000 power. So like you can force activate it for 1 turn, and then on your opponent's turn it doesn't do anything, usually.
Oh god.
And this is like very similar.
That sounds pretty terrible, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is just straight up bad or just gets to stay at niche.
Stays at niche.
This is a niche.
Niche.
I'm glad I don't get to change any of these texts. It makes my job so much easier, man. Next.
Shirabe, new
Oh,
life. 2-1. Front row character. Why are you playing this?
Already off to a bad start. Let's keep it going.
If you have 3 or more music characters, this game's 1k. It's now a 2-1 vanilla front row character.
I thought
When
vanilla.
this attacks...
Wait, I thought 2-1s vanillas were. Are they 8-5 really?
8-5 is a
Yes,
vanilla.
yes they are.
Jesus Christ. Why? I don't even. Never mind.
Okay, the most interesting part of this card comes soon. When this attacks, if the unchanged pair, which is a stock combo, it's a bag.
Woo!
Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a music character, add it to hand, and this gains 6k for the turn.
So this straight up reminds me of like shenanigans that I get to pull with Gigant Shooter, where I just arbitrarily get huge and plus
Yeah,
cards
but-
in the top of my deck.
You don't get huge if you don't reveal a music character.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem with this card. I mean,
It's actually really not good.
No, this is bad. This is a bad card. I'm forced to update this now. Curse you, Symphogear.
I have to agree. I don't think this is a playable card. Bag is just worse than Bar right now.
I don't know.
I
I mean,
I
this lets you
think-
maybe get the 10 stock, but then you paid 1 to play this card. I'd just run the bag just to get 10 stock, maybe.
yeah, so
I,
if you triggered bag the turn you played this, it becomes like it paid for itself.
The
but
problem with bag and
Plus off
triggering
top,
the
though.
early play, though, is that means that bag is still in your stock.
Huh?
It doesn't go well.
I think I would like this card better if the music character went to stock.
Oh, cool. Then we can just, like, pretend we're playing, what was it, Phantom?
or
I
we
don't
just-
actually know.
or it just becomes slightly closer to like any other like green level 2 that has a stock plus combo.
All those stock plus combos charge 2 though, like all the playable ones.
All the playable
there's-
ones charge
Only-
2.
There's only
Oops.
one playable one.
Yeah.
Saturn doesn't count.
Saturn. Anyways, this is a bad card.
Yeah, no, it's just not a good card. Carol, Alchemist, 217k. She's an alchemist. 1 cost when memories after hundreds of years, which I think is the bag,
Is it a
placed
bag?
into
Wait, there are
Clement's
2
cell.
bags?
Bar,
Just
sorry.
gold
It's a
bar.
Yeah. If this is in the front row, you may pay cost. If you do, search your library for up to 3 of the clock 10 clock bomb Alka noise and put them onto stage. And when this attacks, if the level of the character opposite, oh, you enjoy this, don't you?
Okay, so the second effect is garbage, but the first effect is great.
So
Yeah,
the
this-
second effect is if the level of the character opposite is 3 or higher, this gains 3k till the next end of your opponent's turn.
Cool. The second effect is garbage. The first effect is great.
This is
it?
actually kind of viable in the noise deck.
Is it though?
It only grabs one specific noise.
But if you're running the noise deck, I believe right
Well,
now
in
it's
the old noise deck, only ran like 2 different noises, and right now the clock bomb is definitely viable.
the clock bomb is definitely viable to the point where you could run. If you're going to run this, you could run enough copies where you should never miss.
Honestly, I might just like throw this into the alchemy deck anyways, because it's not like you have a lot of level 3s being run in that deck besides the 4 Captain Planets.
No. I really think that the best home for this is the noise deck. I don't think this is
You don't think you can put this?
alchemy
You
deck.
don't think you can just jam this into alchemy?
I don't
You
think I want to.
you can put this in alchemy, but
You're
it would depend on
already
like, the
really
ratios where everything ends up.
your
Like how many
space is really constrained. Like I don't think you can fit more than maybe 6 of the clock bomb
Yeah, I think
into your
the
deck,
biggest issue is like it's probably 6 of the clock bomb, 2 of this.
yeah. At
which
that
is the
point,
problem.
like getting 3 from that is then just not going to happen too often. Because if you get less than 3, this combo really isn't worth it.
Hmm.
I mean, I play 1, 2 events that get me 3 cards. Yeah,
This
I'm
is
I'm inclined to agree.
from a design standpoint, this is like their version of Solomon's Cane from the first 2 sets. But because within the lore, Solomon's Cane can't exist anymore, this is their way of giving you a Solomon's Cane-like effect.
It's more reminiscent for me from like the Fate Zero Rider that put cost zeros from your deck onto the field.
Yeah, but this effect basically was the Solomon's
This
Cane
is the
event
old
basically
Solomon's
just
Cane
grabs
ability, yeah.
just grabs 3 Alka noise instead of 3 regular noise. It's this pretty close to the same thing.
Wonderful.
It's a niche card, and I think it's for the noise deck rather than the alchemy deck, but we'll see.
Next card.
Uh, Kirika, she's a 0/0 4K if you have one or few other characters.
Hey, it's actually a playable beater.
Yeah, it's a playable green beater. Except I don't know if you need a playable green beater.
Well, if you're splashing like level 3 clock kickers, why not?
Oh, why wouldn't you just splash the brainstorm?
No, because I feel like that brainstorm's really not worth it unless you're running the bondable target with it. Because there's
Is
better
it?
brainstorms.
It's still a brainstorm. Like, if you had to choose something to splash, wouldn't you rather splash a brainstorm? Because then
But
you'd be running. Because what would you rather run? The green brainstorm and the Hibiki runner, or the Hibiki brainstorm and the green oversize?
this is true.
But it's like you're saying you can only have like 4 beaters in a level 0 game. Like you can have more
Well,
than
there's only so much room you can have for beaters at level 0. You'd rather have things that do stuff in the late game.
most decks I usually see run something around close to like 6 beaters or more.
Most decks I see run 2 to 4, if that.
That would be
The
very
difference
beneficial
in
to a lot of things.
difference in region, I guess. I just don't think this card is needed when you can run the configuration I just mentioned, especially if you're only splashing for a clock kick, which fixes for itself.
I just think it's a very playable card. I'm not saying it's like the best
It's
card.
it's absolutely playable. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd really run this, all things considered. That's all. I think it's playable, certainly.
It's playable. Next,
Next card is
War of Heart.
Carol. She's the murderer of miracles.
wait, that's not a
This-
hard thing to do.
That's the joke.
She is another 4K with Encore if you have no other characters.
It's Sanjo Gohara.
Exactly, Senjo Gahara, yes.
It's pretty playable, even in like music. If, To
No,
an
it's not
extent.
playable in music.
It's not playable in music.
to an extent,
You mill this to the Hibiki runner and you'll be crying.
Yes.
gotta try
I-
some more.
I am, although I wouldn't run that with the Hibiki runner anyway.
No.
I am. It's for the alchemy deck. It's niche. What else can I say?
Everything is niche. Everything with alchemy in the name is by definition niche.
In all
Yeah.
these Symphogear sets, green is the most niche color by far.
I think so because the other colors are just a lot more interchangeable with each other, and they kind of mix better together.
But flavor-wise, the green colors where all the
Enemies, right?
where all the
Yeah,
enemies are from each season. So like they would work only usually with each other.
yeah. Okay, so
Next.
next card is Shirabe, New Power. It's a global 500, and rest this when placed from hand to stage. If you do, choose a Kurika card, and that card gains when the battle opponent is reversed, you may charge the top card of your deck to stock.
All right, cool. I think we established that there weren't very many high power Kurika cards, right?
There's a 1/0.
There's a 106k. That's going to be your best go-to for this target.
Yeah.
Cool. So Hopefully they have like a level 0 lying around that you can like guaranteed reverse, and you get 2 stock.
Or you could just like play the Hibiki from yellow, and you can attack and give power or something.
Sure.
I don't know. This card seems perfectly playable if you're running heavy green at level 1. But as for global assists, I'm pretty sure I'd rather run the yellow one.
Yep. I think this still gets a niche rating because it requires such.
I really wish this card rest ability was only not on play,
I wish it was
That
a
would
startup
be
too.
extraordinarily powerful.
but it's
And that
incredibly narrow because it can only target a single character.
it's still extraordinarily powerful over multiple turns.
Especially if you have 2 of them. Oh
I mean,
man.
Little Busters, you have the Haruka that can target, either sister and give that ability. It doesn't
But
give
doesn't it
5
tap
roll.
too?
Haruka targets anybody.
It targets anybody. That's even better.
But doesn't it tap
Yeah,
too?
it
It
does
does.
tap.
It does tap 2, but I mean,
It's an extraordinarily powerful ability, is what I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yeah,
So it shouldn't be thrown around lightly.
I have played with that ability. I used to play Green Nisekoi.
It is possibly the only reason Monogatari is still relevant. This card existing in Monogatari. I mean, that's all going to change soon, but
Don't worry, you'll get a new set and it'll get. What is it? Nisekoi 2'd.
I
That's.
just want a good card for my Monogatari deck.
I'm sorry.
Please.
You're getting Nisekoi 2'd.
I'm gonna cry.
Even worse, you're gonna get Disgaea 2'd.
oh, you can't wish that on anyone.
That is really, really
Oh no.
This guy had D2, so unfortunate.
It had a total of 1 playable card in it.
Um. Anyways, next up is the Alka Noise. I'm leaving it at niche rating because of all
It
sorts
is in
of
the
reasons.
noise deck.
But
Use the noise deck.
niche is also going to Alka Noise. You might splash it into Alchemy just because if you have extra space, this will probably be your filler card.
This card Shreks half of Japan right now.
Yo, dog. Like
Like,
all those
this
1-0
card tracks-
clock encores, all those 1-0 beaters, fuck those guys. That's getting killed.
They've been printing the 1-0 if the battle 1-1 if the battle opponent of this is cost 0, this gains an extraordinary amount of power.
And then they printed this too.
Yeah. So it's pretty obvious that in Japan the entire level 1 lineups are cost 0 because that's better, which makes this card incredibly good.
It's evil. It's pure freaking evil.
It's also
The only
funny.
issue
Doge.
Yeah. The fact that there is a brainstormer for alchemy, which lets this come out, is a big boon, and I think that's why the alchemy deck isn't really a joke deck, so much as it is a powerful thematic deck.
Does Roaches count as a joke deck or a thematic deck?
I think it's a thematic deck because it has a lot of good options. Like a joke deck is like Attack on Titan, because the Titan deck, because that deck doesn't do anything until level 2.
I thought you were talking about the DK crew.
The Levy deck is somewhat okay. I've seen it in action.
As
It's
far
okay.
as far as minion decks goes, anyways, like Doge is like
Jojo's is by far the best army deck.
Yeah.
There's no contest for that. I mean, 2/2 14k clock kickers are very hard to debate.
This card is just really good, though.
Yeah, this is a very good card.
It makes the old Ducks deck extremely irritating. Like, extremely, extremely irritating. You have no idea. And the old Ducks deck was already somewhat playable.
Yep. Still a
What
niche
else
card,
can I
though.
Yeah. Person of Truth, which is the next card. This is the crazy scientist guy, right?
Oh man, he's not even alchemy.
He's science
Spoilers,
trait.
who hasn't seen this season yet, he comes back.
Well, the entire Weiss release for Symphogear spoils everything because, like, Chris is no longer a bad guy by G.
I know, right?
Wait, Chris is a bad guy?
These cards in
Yes.
general.
Is Chris a he?
Chris is the white-haired red girl with breasts.
I don't know why you would ever, like, name a female... Never mind.
Christina.
Oh, okay, sure.
So this guy is...
Christina.
Well, no. Or you could just
Wait.
have Chris, like the Pokemon Crystal.
No, you see, when I think of
Protagonist.
Chris, I just think of like 00 Chris, Attack on Titan. Wow, Attack on Titan. What KOF?
Yeah, sure.
What?
But that's because the struggle is real.
What? It's all Mike Chang's fault.
If there's a marker under this 1025, it gains 4k, and when this is placed from hand to stage, you may choose a Gangnia, Ichivo, or Ameno Habikiri in your waiting room and put under this a marker. What? This is just flavor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically just flavor.
Can I just call this bad?
Absorb
It's an
relics.
unplayable flavor card because it's green in a deck that wants you to run the yellow, red, or blue events. This is the sort of thing that goes on the shitter blogs where you just put as many of this scientist guy in a deck as possible, and then you run these events just to put under this scientist guy.
Oh God.
The scientist guy, because of his name, typically meets the requirement for the second set Kane, but you wouldn't run it anyways. But I guess if people want to make a weird, like, Ver theme deck, they could put this guy in with the events.
Well,
then
that
put
exists
a
on the
note
shitter
that's-
blogs.
Yeah, but this card is just bad.
Moving on
Yeah, it's
from
just
from
bad.
bad cards.
All right, let's
Oh,
Oh.
we went over this
Already
counter.
went over it.
yeah 1125. So next card, I don't want to read that name of the next card because it is so long and has many things on it.
Wait, let me try. Oh wait, it's the one with the numbers
No,
and
no,
crap, right?
Yeah.
it's very readable. It's just I don't
Very
want
readable,
to read
but
it.
it's just
Farah Suyev.
Sure. She's also an alchemy trait. All of your other alchemy characters gain 1k, which is actually pretty good. And when it's placed from hand to stage, if you have 4 more other alchemy characters, charge your top card to stock.
Hey, I'd probably run 2 an alchemy deck.
yeah.
Quite niche. Quite a good niche card, actually.
I mean, like, I'll take a global one, 1k for free. Probably run 2. Moving on. Hey, we got 2 events.
Chateau de Symphogear. I don't speak French. Look up to 3 cards from the top of your library, add a green card to hand, like you reveal and add a green card to hand, and ditch the rest. Choose a character to gain 2k for the turn. It's not a bad effect, I guess.
Evan Mind Sensor and Weiss when?
Never, please, never. Having Mind Sensor would do nothing to this card, though.
No, but it would do something to everything else.
No, having Mind Sensor is just a way of making salt even more palpable when you do find what you're looking for anyway. Yeah, this card is very average.
I don't
I
know
don't
if I
know
would
if I-
run any. Maybe 1, just because it lets you maybe dig into another one for free. Another of your payoff card for free. Well, for 1 card in hand.
I guess this is
This
the best
card-
green event.
This card doesn't have to work with just the alchemy deck. It could be running the
Yeah,
character
you can
shop
also
deck.
run it in the...
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I don't know. This is a very
It's still a niche card for me.
you have to play green to run this. A lot of green, so yeah.
Next.
Linker Model K, so 1/1 counter. Choose a character with Kuriko in the name and a character with Shirabe in name, and they both gain 2k.
This is also a niche card.
Yeah, it's written on the card itself. It's only for the Kuriko Shirabe deck. If we're going by cost to power efficiency, this gives 4k for 1 stock, whereas most of these
That's 500
cards give-
more than most 1/1 counters on events, and 1k more than Pendant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next.
The most difficult thing about that card, if you actually wanted to run it, was
You have to
Shirabe
split
doesn't really
your
have that many like frontal offensive cards, so it's just
exactly. You have to split your level 1s pretty significantly. And I guess you can run it later on, but why bother?
like yeah.
So, a 2/1/2/0 event, Forced Robe, Faust Robe. I don't know. Choose a character. That character gains 1/5 to the end of the opponent's next turn, and this goes to stock.
It's Faust, which is, referring to the dude, the historical dude.
Yeah, of course.
And by historical, I mean the fictional dude.
I just don't know how to pronounce that word is all.
I'm pretty sure he's fictional.
This card is
I'm
just.
gonna have to look this up again like I did for Stroganov.
I don't think this card is great because I don't think the decks
Yeah.
like I don't think green decks have a great way of getting a crap ton of hand. Like unless you brainstorm every turn, and even then you're relying on hitting climaxes. So a card that goes neg 1 in hand for +1 stock and a almost negligible amount of power is,
Yeah.
I don't
This
know.
card might not be the worst thing ever if it did something else instead of power gave it like a card like free encore until the end of next turn or something like
That would be
that.
cool, actually.
Hmm.
This free encore until end of the next turn does mean, like, if you choose to ram it on your own turn, you lose the encore on opponent's turn anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been much better. And it would have been more, like, thematically fun because Voss, refers to, like, the person who made a deal with the devil to revive it. So it's like, making fun of, making references and flavor. And no, they're boring. They're so very boring. Well, that was green. Green is not great.
Green is never exciting in Symphogear.
So this is what the second set in the row where that green meme it's been failing us.
Would be overturned. Yeah, no, that meme was stupid. We all know that this Joe Takahata is a fraud of a prophet.
Rip foreign. We'll be right back with red.